channel.
Did you subscribe? Why aren't you subscribed to it?
Nanki5 Studio.
Hello everybody. Welcome to Nanki5 Studio. I'm your one and only Mr. Amos Sir. On today's topic, it's all about being a digital creator, being an influencer, being a YouTuber, and why is it so hard to start? Why is it so challenging for young people to get themselves into this space? Especially in the digital world that we live in. So, on our podcast today, we have Anezwa in the studio, and she's going to give us a little bit of information and detail and how she runs this creative space we're talking about. Anezwa, please, there's your camera. Please introduce yourself to your Nanki5 audience.
Okay. Hi audience, my name is Anezwa Tony. Can I say my handles as well?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Please
I am I'll call myself a nano social media influencer. You can find me on Instagram at Nezwa_, on Twitter at Anezwa Tony, and YouTube on Anezwa Tony as well.
Lovely. Lovely to have you here today. We've been looking forward to having a conversation with you. Personally, I myself don't have enough experience or enough knowledge about your world. How it operates, how it works. Can you just give us a bit of a taste, fill us a little bit here and there on what do you do on a daily basis, and how do you go out on creating things, and getting your viewers excited in terms of like the new upcoming events or clothing line or something like that?
Okay, so what I do, I like to think of myself as an all-rounder, if I'm making sense.
Okay.
Most people on Instagram know me for my makeup, but I don't think I'm just my makeup, if I'm making sense.
Okay.
So my YouTube channel caters for that, where I show my personality and the different things.
Yes.
And that's how I go about. Mainly my Instagram is based on just purely makeup, and then my YouTube is just everything that I am apart from makeup. So yeah, I go about that, and how I show my audience or give out excitement for my videos and my Instagram posts and everything is usually on my stories. And luckily enough, I actually have very supportive friends that help me get the word around and the word across. So it's not really like difficult for me because I have such a supportive system.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Sweet. I wanted to get myself into like being an influencer, but I just found that it was too difficult to start.
Why?
Well, reason being, like, I never had like really the time to, because I feel like you need to really be dedicated. As in, it's not like something that you just like kind of like get in art. You need to like really dedicate time and know what you want. What you want to sell and what you want to attract in a way. So I found that space quite finicky for me to get myself into. So anyway, all that said, audience wants to know. They really want to know, for those who are really struggling, because what we're trying to do about this podcast today is to really give advice to those who are really want to get into the space, really want to create stuff and so on. So when you started, were you embraced or nervous telling people about what you do?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was. But at first, I was just doing my thing. I didn't care. I was just doing it because I liked doing it. I liked sharing it around. And then when people started noticing, funny enough, because I don't even consider myself as an influencer, to be honest.
Okay.
But it's very nice to hear someone else say, oh, you're an influencer. So I'm like, okay, there's actually something I'm doing right. So I was a bit nervous. I won't lie.
Yeah.
But you kind of get the hang of it.
Uh-huh.
And I think with me, I just don't want to focus on one niche. You know how everyone says focus on this, and then that's your brand forever and ever and ever and ever. But I feel like if there's more to you than what people know you for, then why not show the world that maybe you might not like it, but someone else might like it. So yeah.
Do you like being called an influencer?
No. No.
So what's the right word to call?
I don't know. Thing is, your definition to influencer is way different from mine. Okay. So I might not consider myself as an influencer, but you might. So I really don't like being called an influencer because I personally feel like I haven't gotten to that point.
Okay.
You know, if I'm making sense. Yeah.
Okay,
so I just go by
You're still building up in a way.
Yeah, yeah. So until I get there, then maybe I'll feel more comfortable with people calling me that. But when you call me that, it's sort of like a reminder that you aren't there based on what you define it.
Okay, so you feel like it's a name that should be earned before you be called that.
I think so.
Particular person.
I think so. Personally, I think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
No, it's a good point of. Well, it's a good way of looking at it, because actually it's not the first time I hear somebody saying that they don't want to be called influencers, and it's kind of like, I create content and so on. Have you experienced any advantages of having social media presence? Well, I think looking at this particular time we are in, you might have. Yeah,
it's the lack of, like, you lack so much motivation and dedication because a lot is happening, and we're all dealing with personal stories and personal problems that it kind of gets very hard for you to just focus on creating content.
Yeah.
So I personally I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. And when it comes to creating content, how did you come to choose a particular I'd say like maybe product or particular design, to just like, okay, this is what I am going to start doing, and then eventually I'll obviously maybe move on to something else. How did that decision come about?
I think for me it's funny because it didn't come from me, if I'm making sense. Like for instance, people used to tell me, create a channel, do something. And I'd always ask about what, and then they tell me, "Hey, well, you're really good at makeup. Make it about makeup." But I really didn't feel like I was. So it didn't come from me. But as soon as people started saying makeup, that's when I was like, okay, maybe I should start with makeup. But I didn't want it to be about makeup, obviously. So I guess makeup was my starting point, and then I chose to build towards different things like DIYs and hair and lifestyle and fashion.
Yes. And like when you're working with brands, is a particular, well, we shouldn't obviously mention names, is there particular brands you would say, well, maybe I should have or I shouldn't have worked with?
Yes. Yes, there is.
Any stories?
It was back in 2017. We had a lot of miscommunications, and I felt that they were taking advantage of the fact that I was still trying to build myself, and I was still trying to do makeup and trying to get people to notice me. So I think they took advantage of that, and they just rolled with it. And at first I was also rolling with the punches. I was like, okay, away. But it got to a point where I was like, this is not a healthy environment to be a part of. So I let it go.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So it's one thing I've taken from what you said is for those who are looking forward to working with brands should be kind of aware of what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
And unfortunately some of the things come with experience, because you're never gonna know whether this is the right brand or not, and so on. Speaking of brand and content, how do you come up with content? How do you wake up in the morning and like, you know what, today is flower day or whatever it is, and just
I just go with it. Honestly, my mind I don't know how to describe it, but I have a lot of ideas in my mind, and sometimes they're just a lot. So I just go with what I'm feeling like going for at that point. So if I feel like I want to do something out of my comfort zone, then I'll try.
Okay.
So I don't have a distinct plan as to this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. I just go with the flow. Yeah.
Now I was looking at your YouTube channel. Your YouTube channel.
Did you subscribe? Why aren't you subscribed to my channel?
I did subscribe.
Did you?
I did subscribe. Yeah.
Did you?
I did.
The bell?
Yeah, I did. No, not the bell per se, but I subscribed. Well, I subscribed. Yeah, just
that right there is a black man lying to you. Lying to you.
I literally did. Like there isn't. Yeah, I did. I don't wanna.
Oh my God, you're lying to me. Subscribe to my channel.
I promise you, I did.
Okay.
I did subscribe to the channel.
Okay.
And that's where I picked up that, because when I was looking at it, I thought, okay, maybe you're just a makeup artist. But then I picked up that you did a bit of like hiking and so on. I'm a fan of hiking as well. And so I was like, oh, okay. I feel you. So I was like, oh, it's great, out of your comfort zone, maybe I would say. You know, for me, it's kind of like when I jump into them, I just get excited. It's like, yeah, let's go camping or cycling and so on.
Camping.
Yeah.
You like camping.
I love camping. Do you like camping?
I like hiking. Just not camping.
My hiking comes with camping.
How do you find camping?
Well, it's really, I think it comes from where I grew up, or like how I grew up, basically. Okay. So I had a lot of like white culture influence.
Okay.
You know? So it got to a point where it just became normal to do.
Thank you.
You know, so every weekend we would pack our little bags and everything and rucksacks and go up in the mountain and just feel the discomfort of being in this bush and make our own fires and then something, you know. I think when one grows up in a certain environment, you don't question why certain things done. You know what I mean? So you just kind of like, oh well, I guess this is what it is.
Okay, no, that's true.
So I'm guessing like from your side, you'd be like, well, why would I leave my bed and sleep on the floor?
True.
You know, so I'm the kind of like, well, for me it kind of like
it excites you.
Yeah, it excites me, like, yeah, why not?
Okay.
You know, people used to sleep on the floor before they were bed. So,
Point.
Yeah, so anyway, further going on, other people like to know. People also like to know, what would you be doing if not doing this now?
School. I would, in my ideal life, I would be studying. I love books. I love studying. And that's one of my setbacks with social media and books. It's having to balance them both and make them work.
Yes.
I would be doing what I'm doing right now. I'd be furthering my studies. Idealistically, I'd be doing my honors.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I fell in love with studying towards my honors degree.
Oh.
I never loved school. It was just like, it's the reading side of things and all that, you know, wasn't like my kind of thing. But when it came to honors, for some reason, there's this spark that just like comes through. I'm like, why am I interested in reading books?
Yeah.
You know, so in that way, I was like, all right, maybe I can push myself to doing masters and
what do you study?
I study photography.
Oh, okay.
So I'm currently doing my masters, and it's been a bit rough, but we're getting there. You know, so it's lovely to hear that you'd be doing a bit of which is, I mean, obviously good to be doing studying and, you know. And by the way, what did you study?
Biochemistry.
Okay.
Yeah. You're making that face that everyone makes.
All right.